There's a little slice of southern Colorado, a rugged and remote high desert, blessed with the fertile farming ground of the San Luis Valley, and bordered by 14,000-foot peaks of the San Juan and Sangre de Cristo mountain ranges. Embedded within this majestic region of Colorado is Rio Grande County and the small yet vibrant town of Del Norte.
You know, a very small town, you know everybody. It's a very cool place. Beautiful scenery, there's lots to do here, and it's being discovered.
Here, you will also find 6,000 feet of asphalt that has literally changed the lives for so many of the citizens and visitors of Del Norte and its surrounding communities.
And I don't think a lot of people realize how important these rural airstrips are for communities, not only where they're based, but the communities around.
It's just a nice place to live and raise a family. People getting more involved of keeping their little community alive. And it's hard, it's very hard.
In 1993, times were very hard for Del Norte when the doors of the town's hospital closed after serving the San Luis Valley for over 85 years.
That was a very difficult time for the San Luis Valley, particularly the western end of the valley.
When the old hospital went out of business, we didn't have a hospital for a while. And then Dr. Haug and Dr. Birkbigler and a few others got together and said, we are going to build a new hospital.
We were able to reopen the hospital with the help of local community folks, and were able to reestablish a level of care at the old hospital, and subsequently actually built a new hospital here in town.
On August 11th of 2004, the new Rio Grande Hospital opened its doors. This new state-of-the-art medical facility would now serve Del Norte and its surrounding communities with quality primary and emergent healthcare services.
That hospital is a critical access hospital. That's part of the new system of the way healthcare is delivered now. So instead of providing everything to everybody, we provide basic primary care, emergency room care, and a lot of that, especially the people who are critically ill, get triaged to tertiary care centers.
This is 1946. I said actually it's 9 years younger than I am.
Meet Bob Johnson. He's a Del Norte resident, a pilot, and a member of the Del Norte Airport Advisory Board. In the early part of 2007, Bob found himself in need of critical emergency care.
I believe it was in January of '07. I had what I call a mini heart attack.
Back in those days, the Del Norte Airport infrastructure was much different than it is today. With the main runway spanning only 49 feet in width and less than 4,000 feet in length, at an altitude just under 8,000 feet above sea level, it was next to impossible for larger and faster air ambulance aircraft to operate in and out of the Del Norte Airport.
When a patient needed to be transferred, we had a crew fly into the Monte Vista Airport, or even on occasion they weren't able to do that, and into the Alamosa Hospital.
They stabilized me and then moved me over to Monte Vista to go out.
There is the golden hour of trauma, that if you can get people to the level of care where they need to be within an hour, their chances of survival are much, much greater.
There was a lot of times with the weather, you know, they were transported from here to mainly Alamosa.
So an incredible amount of time, we're talking 40 miles to Alamosa, and an hour, over an hour, just to get people back and forth. It was critical to have something closer, something more expedient for us to be able to take care of folks.
Then we started talking, man, wouldn't it be great if we could fly people out of here like that, not have to wait 3 or 4 hours. And that's kind of what kicked the rest of the airport expansion, the new runway, the runway lights, the pending instrument approach procedure, that whole long string of grants from the state, that's where that really got kicked into gear.
It was a combination of things that were working: economic needs, hospital needs, and then just overall safety for the community.
The idea to construct a runway that was long enough and wide enough to accommodate fixed-wing medevac aircraft was put into motion. However, there was only one problem: funding.
We were told early on, you can't get federal funding.
When we started out, we had a little saved in reserves in the airport fund. There's no way the county could have done it.
So the state of Colorado and Rio Grande County came together to fund the construction of Del Norte's new runway. Enhancing the safety of the runway, the project also included an upgraded lighting system and a federally certified weather observing system.
CDOT has been, along with our county commissioners, been incredible in terms of providing the resources for us to be able to get this done.
In total, the Colorado Department of Transportation's Division of Aeronautics provided nearly $3 million in discretionary aviation grants. This was matched with over $650,000 from Rio Grande County to complete the project.
It's not federally funded, it's just been the state and the people of the county have just seen a need and stood up for it.
On October 29th of 2010, Del Norte's new runway was officially opened, and the airport was now ready to support the community's need for air ambulance services.
Since it's been done, Eagle Air Med has had a plane on site with a flight crew and a medical crew, so they're ready within minutes for us to be able to transport patients.
As the saying goes, if you build it, they will come. And in the case of Del Norte's new runway, this is exactly what occurred.
It provided direct access for air ambulance companies to the point that Eagle Air Med actually bought a hangar and based an airplane and a crew here.
3 years ago, in 2014, it was apparent that the volume that was coming out of the Rio Grande Hospital here in Del Norte was sufficient enough to support its own base located here in Del Norte.
Especially as we've been growing, the hospital emergency services and medical and surgical services, and especially the trauma services, have just ballooned over the last several years. And so now, in the last year, for instance, we had 325 flights out of this airport for emergent medical procedures.
Since they built this runway and Eagle Air has been in here, they fly on a regular basis, sometimes almost every day it seems.
I attended band in this classroom, and then it's turned into a computer lab. My name is Trish Velasquez. I am a public school teacher at Del Norte High School.
And then came the stories, the positive stories of the lives that have literally been saved by a 6,000-foot strip of asphalt in rural Colorado.
And so I had gotten sick and kind of waited it out a few days. The second day we ran some blood work, and they called my husband and my son and said, you need to get into the ER right now. Your potassium's so low, you're at a high risk for having a heart attack. The next day they kind of started putting things together and found out I had a major infection, and that's where it led up to, what are we going to do next? So they wheeled me in and said, you're getting flown out.
Trish was taken by ambulance to the Del Norte Airport, only 5 minutes away, where a waiting Eagle Air Med aircraft was ready to transport her to a hospital in Pueblo, Colorado for emergency surgery.
My life was in good hands at that point because it was right here. When I landed in Pueblo, the doctor was waiting and we went into surgery immediately.
She eventually made a full recovery and is back to teaching at the Del Norte High School.
If I had to drive to Pueblo, there would have been no way. No way. I mean, I had to be flown.
It was clear that this was a project that was worth doing.
Because not only does this runway support just Del Norte, but you have Creed and those other smaller communities, even Monty, where they'll bring a patient over here.
There is a group of people who are committed to seeing this through and making it happen. And the county commissioners also need an incredible amount of credit because they bit the bullet and they put money up and time up in a time when there wasn't money to be had. But they understood the value to the community, to their constituents as well as our patients.
And then obviously the State Aviation Board. We've been through several changes in the board through the years, and it seems like every board has recognized the value of this airport.
It was a great project, and everybody was really did well to come together and get it done.
It does make you proud to say that we have an airport that is fully functional. It's life-saving. It is absolutely life-saving.